Hello, everybody. This is Robbie Rizik. Thank you guys for joining me today. Um, it's been a while. I didn't go live, and this morning, I decided to go live and share with you some of the latest demos for the Blog2Podcast, and hoping if you have any questions or discussion or anything that you would like me to talk about, that will be great. But if we don't have any questions, I will go ahead and jump onto the demo for Blog2Podcast. But we'll wait for a minute or so to get more people joining. Just let me know in the comments below if you could hear me or you could see my beautiful face. So yeah, let me know, guys, in the comment below if you could hear me well. And I'm gonna share my screen in a few, and we'll go from there. Hopefully everybody had a great week so far, middle of the week. It's Wednesday here, and hoping to get a really productive day. All right, let me see. Awesome. Yeah, I know today we had a very short notice. I usually schedule those a week before, but we're going to have a replay as well. So at the end of this, that will be great. So if you guys join, let me know if you have any questions, if you would like me to talk about any of my tools or any questions that you guys would like to ask. I would love to help. So right now I know we have a really good users, lots of agencies been joining Mappack Toolbox. And if you have guys any questions, or if you are on the fence on joining, let me know in the comments. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see the comments because Facebook changed a lot of things. So if you post anything on Facebook, please tag me any questions, because they actually changed the way we can stream in the actual groups. So that's why you can't really see all the comments. But yeah, the toolbox, if you guys don't know about the Mappack Toolbox, it's basically a set of tools that focuses for map ranking on local SEO in general, which is, the number one problem solving, or the number one thing that it solves. It saves you time. And for me, time is money, and Mappack Toolbox is here to save you on both. Save you time and money. How? Because every tool it's set up in a way to automate everything with the minimum input by user. So if you are an agency or a freelancer, you know how sometimes it's time consuming to do some research, or customer prospecting or client prospecting, or do an auto schema. So with Mappack Toolbox, it's going to create like every tool, it will solve a problem in your agency or in your workflow. So as an instant, like we have the map magnet, which is, you could go and do research between you and the competition, how you're ranking and what's the ranking factors, and why they are ranking on your competition is ranking better than you. So this one, it gives you a full reading of the whole SERP based on the ranking factors. As an example, if the keyword is inside the meta title or meta description, you'll be able to compare it between all of them. But that's, and plus you could use it as when you do prospecting, you could be able to share with your customers and you show them, hey, here's a table that it has the top 20 results for the main keywords, and we see all their competitions, and this is what they're doing, and this is what we're missing, because it's actually going to give you like an action plan to work on. So you'll send it to your VA, or you could do it yourself. So it will solve a lot of problems, right? The second one is on the auto schema, which is it's basically, I don't see any tool out there, any competition out there that could create the schema as detailed and technically the schema as auto schema. So basically, you'll only put the place ID, and then you put the radius, and it will build a full schema for you using all the cities, the titles, and everything. The surrounding cities with the meta title, meta description, and all of that. And the geo circle KML, it's going to create a custom map for you. And then the entity rank AI, it will basically create the entities from the SERP, and then it will organize them for you to be able to create the great content that includes all the entities with the outbound links. Email snatch is basically finding emails, or snatch the emails from social media for any of your, let's say you're looking for influencers on Instagram, you search that, you will be able to get all the emails for them. That will help you with the outreach. But yeah, this is an overall, I know it's a lot, but this is what the toolbox is. But today, what I really want to talk about is the new AI podcast from BlogStorm. So, and please feel free, guys, to interrupt me or write your comments or send me your comments, or your questions. I'll be able to question it, even if it's not related to this. But I'll get to it at the end of the podcast. So, we created in BlogStorm. We were able to create a blog to podcast basically mode that a user input their URL and or the blog URL or the content or text, and then we generate a podcast. But before we generate the podcast, we're gonna generate the dialogue between two people, and then it will, after that, it will generate the actual podcast, the audio. So why you create an AI podcast? In a little bit, I'm going to show you guys how simple and how easy and how fun it is to create an AI podcast. But, why would you create an AI podcast? First is engage with your audience on a new platform, right? So if you have, you create an AI podcast and then you post it on a different platforms, let's say Spotify, Apple, and all the other platforms that could host the podcast, basically. That will be helpful, not just having a new audience, but it helps with the SEO, which is I'm going to talk to about right now in a little bit. And the second thing is leveraging AI to automate and enhance podcast production. So this way, I know if you want to create a podcast, but you don't have the right equipment, you don't have the right setup, you don't feel like, you don't practice enough to be able to to talk on the mic. You just don't talk on the mic. So we could create it with your own voice on BlogStorm AI, right? With a trained AI voice with you, from you. Third thing, it's going to build a brand authority and trust. Why? Because if you are, let's say, an example, a injury lawyer in the city of Chicago, and you do have podcasts talking about questions and the problems that your niche or industry have, so you will be able to build authority and trust with the AI podcast. Now, and it will drive organic traffic to your website as well. Why? Because there's multiple things. People might share your podcast, might post it or embed it in a different website, or from those platform, Spotify and all of that. It's going to drive traffic to your website because you're going to add them. And it's going to be a backlink, even though sometimes some of them are do follow and some of them are no follow, but you still have value for it. So the SEO benefit of an AI podcast, it does, number one, it does increase your website traffic, right? So the more you share it, the more you post, the more you have it sync to all the platforms, podcast platforms out there. It will drive more traffic to your website. Backlink opportunities. So if you create the AI podcast, you get a backlink opportunities. When you list it on Spotify, you'll be able to get a backlink to your website. If you list it on Apple Podcasts, I'm not sure what is it called, but it gets another backlink to your website. So this is something helpful for you guys. Now, the brand authority and trust here, which is very, very important. The more you have brand authority and trust in Google eyes, the better ranking you have, right? So I've been creating AI content for a while right now, for over a year. And trust me, guys, when I build it for brick and mortar businesses, like real businesses, instead of, like a fake blog that I'm building, the results are way better than from an unknown entity, right? Or unknown website. Why? Because this one does not have any authority, right? It doesn't have any backlinks. It doesn't have anything. So it's really hard for that AI content to go and rank higher on their website. But with here, maybe the only thing they're missing is the content, which is the AI content. They have the authority, they have the backlink, they have the history on Google Eyes. But when you create this AI content, it will, right away, Google will rank those pages higher, right? Even though it's an AI, but, it's been proven. I do have a lot of case study that I've been doing, and it does help a lot, guys. And the last thing I would say right here is social media engagement. Now, when you create that AI podcast and you put it on you could have it in your stories and your Facebook, you could have it on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you would like. You add them in a way, you could use CapCut. You take that audio and you put the audio with just a background video. You could go and find that background video, or you could put your own picture and just design a page or a background image, and then you have the audio there, right? And you could have basically the audio waves as well. So this will help creating more content for your social media, which is gonna increase more traffic to your website and give social media signals to Google to rank you higher. So there's a lot of benefits that will help, guys. So let me jump ahead. I know this is, talking a lot. I'm trying to explain because I feel a lot of people don't know what is, why would you create an AI podcast, and why not nobody out there is creating it yet, because I feel that the quality or it wasn't up there yet to people to trust it. But I feel we went a long way ahead with the team, and we did a great job till now, that I could say we are the only ones out there that could do this, right? I didn't see any competition. If there is, please let me know. I know there's a lot of text to audio that you could create, but I never saw a text to conversation between two people and creating an actual podcast and conversation between two. So let me show you how it works, and let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. Just let me know in the comments or even on Facebook. I'm just gonna check Facebook real quick and make sure I don't have any yeah, we have somebody I think is joining. That's great. Thank you so much. They said they were joining. All right, that's great. Okay, now let me go back to Blog2Podcast. So the first thing you need to do for Blog2Podcast is go into the setting, and you need to create the podcast presets. As you can see right here, guys, I created a bunch of podcast presets, right? But for today, I'm gonna actually choose one real quick, and I'm gonna call it the BlogStorm AI podcast. So that's the product name, and then the podcast name, and the podcast presentation style. You get to choose what style for the podcast. So for this one, we could informational, and then we go jump on the participants. We choose the participants. So here you could actually create one from, we have a bunch of presets or voices from 11 Labs, right? So, so that's Chris. It sounds good. So I'm gonna put mine as the main, my name as a name participant or host. So basically, I my name, I spell it R-A-B-I, I spell it R-A-B-I-H, but because when the AI read it, they call it like Rabbi or Rabbi. So this way, if I put, because I want to say it Robbie, so I just wrote it as a way that I want it to be pronounced. And then I'll check the personality of the participant. So this one, I want to be the actual organizer. You could choose if you want it to be the caretaker, the artist, the debater, the peacemaker, the performer. We're going to add more personality. So it's nice to have a personality. So when we create the content, it will be fit the actual personality. And in voices, you could add your own voice manually here. I'm not going to click on this because it's going to show the API, but you could add from 11 Labs. You would be able, like, I'm going to go to 11 Labs real quick. And if you have your own voice, which is I personally do have a professional voice trained in the Voice Lab, which is it doesn't cost you much, but it took about 2 to 3 weeks, but you have to give like 2 to 3 hours of content, so they would be able to create it for you. And then here you click the ID, which is you copy the ID, and you could post it in on BlogStorm, and you would get the content. So right here, just gonna move fast, a little bit fast, guys. I know, respect your time, guys, but I want to make sure that we cover this, because this is not released yet, and I'm hoping to be releasing it on Friday or by Monday morning. So, but now I'm choosing my voice, which is Robbie Rizik, which is I put my ID in it. Perfect. Now here I want to I'm going to put the second host, or the second participant will be Peter, and Peter is my co-founder and partner, mentor. He's a friend of mine, And we want to say that his personality is the thinker. So Peter is the thinker. And then we're going to have the voice. We're going to choose one of the voices for him because we don't have any trained voices for him. We're working on that as well. Okay, I like this one. And then podcast description, we're going to say this is a BlogStorm podcast description. I'm going to just, this is a BlogStorm podcast that focuses on AI content and AI content, news, and let's say content, news, and startups. All right. And then we go, the target market on this is digital marketers. So you choose the target market, and then we choose the country, United States, and for the target market. So here what we did, so we're going to add the presets. Now we have already exist. Oh, I'm just going to put, because I already have mine. So I think I'm just going to click this, Robbie. And because if it's already, you have the participant, you'd be able to choose it. So because I did it before. So, and let me click right here, add presets. So right now, we actually add it, which is this one. It's the podcast, the BlogStorm AI podcast, and now we do have the presets. Now, the good thing about now BlogStorm, when you create the podcast presets, you have the name, the address, the name, the description, the participant names, the personality, what kind of presentation style you want it. So we have all of this to be able to create the actual podcast. So now we could go to podcast and we have to choose, we go to modes and then blog to podcast mode. And the first thing you need to do is actually adding a URL, right? So right now I know that we have to choose a topic that we want to talk about. So let's say GPT-4o versus GPT-4. I just want to see if there's any blog out there that, okay, we have a blog right here. It looks like a good informative website. So we're gonna paste it here, and then we're gonna click on extract content. And when we click on extract content, it's gonna give you all the text. Now we do have all the text, right, of the actual topic. And then we're gonna choose the presets that we chose earlier, right? It's gonna give us a confirmation here what we need to do. And then we gonna so that was that's the podcast name. And then we're gonna generate the conversation. So when you click on generate the conversation, what it's gonna do basically right now, the first step is generating the dialogue between two people, right? Between Peter and Rob. And this way we get we can change content, we can edit before we generate the audio. So the first step we do is actually generating the conversation or the dialogue between the two people. So in a few seconds, you do have something like this, which is basically, it's going to have your, let me see if I could zoom a little bit more. Yep, here we go. So we do have line by line, and how it starts right away. So I could sometimes change it here, say, welcome to, usually give that introduction. I'm not sure this time why it didn't, maybe because I changed the title earlier. But if you need to change anything right here, you can. And then, or if you want to add a line, and you can, or if you could delete one, you could do that. So basically, you go over the whole text and you make sure that everything is set the way you want it, right? And then after we do that, after we are set and happy with the content or the podcast text, we click on generate podcast. So here, right away, it's going to take you to a page, which is basically it's going to show you the title of the one we talked about, and then you click on it, and now it's still generating, but it's going to show each line by itself, right? So it's generating each line of audio from 11 Labs, because you have to put your actual API from 11 Labs to be able to get this. And then if I click refresh, you'll see. Let's hear the beginning of it. Nice. I love the laugh. Sometimes it doesn't get the laugh the way it did here, but it's actually great in this one. Let's hear it again. So okay, that looks good. Now, if you didn't like it, just in case, and you want to change it, like let's say the here, because it's gonna we use a lot of real voices or real uh, uh, noises that human does. So okay, great. Now, if you want to decide like you don't like it or you want to change it in any way, you could change it, and then you click on this button right here, which is gonna save and regenerate this line by itself, right? And then you wait a few more minutes, you will have a full I'm sorry, a full podcast right here. This is all done. So right now we want to combine it in one combined audio. You click on this button right here, which is it says view combined audio. You click on this, and we'll wait for a minute or two, and then you will be able uh, you would be able to see it, right? Here we go. So that's let's listen for a little bit and see the quality of the audio, and if you guys let me know what you think about it. Well, let me skip a little bit. Nice. Let's skip a little bit and see the end a little bit. So yeah, this is the actual podcast. This is a demo. The actual BlogStorm Blog to Podcast is not available yet on BlogStorm, but we will be launching it soon, very soon. Hopefully this week by Friday or Monday. So when you get the actual audio right here, you could click on the three dots and you download it, and then you could upload it to your Spotify or whatever your favorite podcast platform. Yep. So I mean, yeah, if you would like, guys, if you have any other questions, let me know. I mean, I did have a few of them created before, um and we're still tweaking a few things and give you guys an opportunity to edit it. First thing we're working on right now is to expand it. So sometimes people want more than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So if we need 5 minutes, we would be able to expand it. That's the one thing that we're working on. Yeah, that's one of them as well. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I saw any. We built this based on uh, an idea, and we wanted like people to create. We want BlogStorm to be able to create the podcast. I mean, the blog with an AI, and then I want to be able to take that blog and be able to create a podcast with it, and hopefully in the near future we be able to create a video, maybe switching that podcast to two avatars that talking to each other. But we did that, but we didn't like the technology still not up there to make it look natural as possible. But soon it would be. So I see it very soon. By the end of the year, I think we would be able to create that podcast in avatars, maybe avatars that look like you, right? And make it look very real. I know we're in AI era that everything is going so fast right now, but this is what would the near future holding us for BlogStorm. Um, and if you guys remember Will Smith's first video eating a pizza on the AI, it was so crazy and scary. And look where we at right now. You'd be able to create videos. That's, I don't know, if less than a year. I think it's less than a year. So time goes fast, and especially in the AI world. So we just have to know how to adapt to new technologies right away. So that'll be it for today, I guess. Unless you guys have any questions for me, uh, I would love to answer it. If just let me know in the comments. Um, so that's what we're working on BlogStorm right now. Is basically we're gonna launch this at the end of the week or by Monday, and soon we're gonna have full revamp of the front page, and we're doing a full launch, maybe a lifetime deal. We're not sure, but maybe something really aggressive to launch BlogStorm officially. Because till now we're just not officially launched, but it's still in a beta version right now. So, but yeah. Um, Hopefully this was helpful, um, and if you guys need any if you have any questions about it, please, you know how to find me. You either find me on Facebook or you find me on YouTube, or just simply go to BlogStorm or Mappack Toolbox and be able to reach out for any of the emails. And if you yeah, if you have any suggestions, please shoot it for me. Let me know what you guys think, and if there's any way we can improve it. That's the only way to uh, scale a business or scale a SaaS software, is basically by listening to you guys and listening to the comments. That's what I did in Mappack Toolbox. I was able to get a lot of feedback from a lot of respected influencers in the niche, in the industry, and that's how we try to scale it and build a better tool for you guys. All right, so if you have any questions, again, let me know, and you guys have a great day the rest of the week. And remember, time is money, and I'm here to save you both. Thanks.